Golden State Valkyries 62-49 winners over the Washington Mystics. Yes, it was as bad as the scoreboard would indicate. A brutal, brutal performance by the Washington Mystics. They completely laid an egg. Just absolutely horrendous. They shoot 30% from the floor. They shoot 13% from three, 67% from the line. And yeah, they really did suck. They had 9 turnovers at halftime, 7 in the first quarter. Yet they led 15-11 at the end of one. They led 33-31 at the half, I think it was. And yeah. And only had 13 fouls. This game only had 29 total fouls, guys. It only had 29 total fouls. You know? Lauren Betts gave him 7 points in the first quarter, and she barely did anything the rest of the game. She barely played the rest of the game. Trone was out tonight with a knee boo-boo once again, and don't know when she will be back. And it wasn't like the Valkyries played a good game. The Valkyries shot a putrid 35% and 18% from three, and they only scored 62 points. Can you imagine winning by 13 points when you score 62 points in a professional basketball game? Yeah, it was that bad. Kiki Irfin leads the Mystics with 12, 6 of 12, shooting 9 rebounds. Michaela Onyenwere, completely invisible, 2 points, 1 of 6, 0 for 5 from 3. Shakira Austin, 11 points, 3 of 11, 11 boards. Cody McMahon, 8 points starting in place of Sonia Citron, 2 of 7, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 turnovers. Georgia Amore plays 22 minutes, 3 points, 1 of 6 from 3, 1 of 7 overall. Lucy Olsen at 5, 2 of 5. Tia Flores had 1 point in 17 minutes, 3 assists, 2 turnovers. This was a bad game, people. You ever had a reaction that was just like, what do I say? They were just that bad. Caitlin Chen, 21 minutes, 14 points off the bench for Golden State. She led all scorers. 14 points, led all scorers tonight. Kayla Charles had 8 off the bench. Tiffany Hayes had 9 off the bench. Saloon had 8 off the bench. They got 22, 31. They got 39 points from their bench. Oh, my God. Kayla Thornton, 2 points. Gabby Williams, 2 points. Veronica Burton, 7 points. Kia Stokes, 6. And Cecilia Zandalasini had 6. If I told you that Gabby Williams, Veronica Burton, and Kayla Thornton would combine to go 4 for 23, you would take it in a heartbeat and say you're going to win that damn game. Well, they went 4 for 23 for 11 points and 0 of 11 from three-point range, and they won. They won. Like, how? How? You know how? Well, the Mystics, 0 of 5 from Michaela Onyenwere from 3, 1 of 4 from McMahon, 1 of 6 from Amore. So you got 2 of 15 from 3 from those 3 right there. They turned it over 14 times, had 9 in the first half. Bad. Sydney Johnson, substitution problems once again. They still have no point guard play. I don't even know, guys. I don't even know what to say. There's not a lot of words. Like this is one where you'd say, well, you know, they should throw that film away and burn it. No, they need to watch this film. They need to watch this film because that should be what you never look like again. And this is the problem with the Mystics. They have the ability to look like this. They look like this against Connecticut, and then they look completely different against the Minnesota Lynx. This team's consistency or lack thereof is just nausea-inducing. They led the first quarter. They led at the half. And the Valkyries just kicked their ass in that third quarter and took the game. They took the game, and this was probably the first game where I've seen, I won't say the first, okay, I know. Beyond the ones where they got blown out in completely, and there was a couple where they got just blown out in. But this is like the first game where I feel like I'm watching them quit. Like they look like they quit, you know? So this was an unfortunate type of game. They quit in this one. They absolutely quit. And that's the unfortunate reality. They quit. They gave up. And we could talk about coaching. I mean, you guys know my thoughts on Sidney Johnson. He doesn't adjust. They run the same dog shit over and over again. They're running that handoff, that dribble handoff. Nothing changes beyond the dribble handoff. You got 13 points off the bench, but then you don't play the bench. Like look at the fact that the Valkyries had 3 bench players play 20 minutes or more. Saloon played 25, Chen played 21, and Charles played 25. Nakasi trusts her bench. Sidney Johnson does not trust his. Yeah, the 5 turnovers by Golden State, that's a good way to not lose a game like this. I mean, it's the only way you can avoid losing a game like this. It's the only way you can avoid losing a game like this, because if you turn the ball over and you couple it with 35% shooting, well, you're probably going to lose. You know, a la the Mystics score 49 points, have 14 turnovers, and shoot 30%. The turnovers did not help them at all, especially early on. They were cleaner with the ball in the second half. But you see the difference between a coach that trusts his bench and a coach that doesn't trust his bench. And I don't know why he doesn't trust his bench, because his starters aren't that good. Gabby Williams is a starter for the All-Star team. She scored 2 points. She played 17 minutes. She was utterly terrible. And they won by 13. Veronica Burton will probably be an all-star. 3 of 10. She was terrible. Like when you have that trust in your team, it makes a difference. And I don't think Sidney Johnson has any trust. They're not tanking. You're 10-10. They're clearly not tanking. He has and the problem at this point, forget adjusting. He doesn't change anything between games. They run the same offensive sets over and over again. You see when Shakira Austin's in the game, they find a way to get her the ball in the paint. They find a way to dump her the ball while she's in the post. When she's posting up, they find a way to get her that ball. And yet when Lauren Betts has the exact same post position, they struggle to dump the ball in the paint to her. And it's because, for one, you have Shakira Austin always turns and faces, and that's not a real post player. She turns, faces, dribbles, spin back, move all the time. But Lauren Betts gets positioned so often a few feet from the rim, and they don't even look at her. They don't look at her. If you trust your bench, you can be better, but he doesn't trust his bench. He goes back to his starters so fast. He doesn't give players enough time to get any type of rhythm at all. I mean, the fact that Kiki Irfin played 30 minutes tonight, Shakira Austin played 24. Like, how does Shakira Austin play 24 minutes and Betts only plays 16? Like, that's ridiculous. That means they combined for 40. Why is Onyenwere getting 28 minutes of action when in a game where she's 1 of 6? I guess that's why he put in Cassandra Prosper, who didn't do shit either. You have a bench. You need to trust it a little bit. And if you don't trust your bench, well, guess what? You're going to look like this. And tonight they look like certifiable dog shit. And I'm sure he'll have no answers. He'll say that it's a young team. I mean, he gives the same song and dance answer every time. They're a young team. At a certain point, you can't use you're a young team as your excuse all the time. You got to start maturing. You've got to start maturing, you know. And in certain games, they do fight. And they typically don't quit. Against the Golden State Valkyries, you got to push tempo. Because the Valkyries would turn this game into a crawl. Like, you don't want to play this type of game against Golden State. They're going to turn it into a crawl. They don't shoot the ball well from the floor. They live on their defense. And if you don't shoot the ball well and you're playing half court, well, they're gonna love this style of ball. They're gonna love it. So, wow, 4 for 4 from the free throw line. Wow. So Golden State wins by 62-49, and they only shot 4 free throws. I mean, it's not surprising because their best players couldn't make shots. Janelle Saloon took 9 threes off the bench. Jesus. But yeah, this was a brutal performance by the Mystics. You would hope that they would look better than this after however many days off they had in between games. I mean, oh, man. God, I was so close to being a goal. Yeah, I mean, they were off from the 2nd to the 6th, and you look like this. Makes no sense. And they don't come back and play till Sunday. So the Mystics are off until Sunday, where they play Seattle at home. What will they do for the next 5 days? What will they do the next 5 days? I hope they practice. But that's all I got, man. I got nothing left tonight, guys. I appreciate y'all. Hit the like button, subscribe. Please jump on board. That's all I got, man. I'm going to go watch the rest of this USA debacle. Maybe we get a miracle. But appreciate y'all. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, leave your comments. I thank y'all. Check out all the content we have on the channels. This is Washington Mystics Unfiltered. Come on now, the podcast. Salute. Have a good night.